fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live. Okay.
Cruising with Steve. Get in, sit down, buckle up. Cruising with Steve. Get in, sit down, buckle up. Cruising with Steve.
Welcome back to Cruising with Steak. Grim Steak here. Another Tuesday night here on Grimerica FM, September 3rd. Streaming live. Coming at you. We have an exciting show tonight. Probably.
Do we?
Yeah, of course we do. Come on. It'll get there. Even if it's, we'll get there sooner or later. Got my number one man with me. May the peanut butter to my jelly, Mr. James Cruz.
Yeah. Doing good, dude. How's it going?
What's up, man? And we also got, dude, it's great. We also got Mr. Jerry Cthulhu.
I guess I'm number two guy.
No, you're number two. Hey. And we got Mr. Carl Winslow himself.
My ink is low. My ink is low. My ink is low.
Quit beating your meat.
We also have that guy.
Easily I approach CwS because I ain't no joke.
And we have we got Flavortown coming back.
I can't follow that last one up. How's everybody doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
Dude, if you broke into like, I like big butts, I would have cried.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Pissed through that boner, guys. Man. Lots of big, exciting stuff going on, guys. We got CryptidCon coming up this weekend. So if anybody, anybody's going to actually be like find out about us from CryptidCon and hit a little subscribe, this will be the first episode that they have pop up in their feed. Yep. So thanks for at least talking to us at CryptidCon. I mean, there's that.
But really, fuck you.
Yeah,
But really, we're stalking you now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really just a long, elaborate data mining operation just to get a lot of information.
We've installed Bitcoin miners in your browsers.
It's done.
We actually,
if you are new listening to us,
yeah,
I
take it
would
over,
suggest,
James.
Well, we actually went to CryptidCon last year, and it was a blast. So we decided let's do it again, but with more people and more listeners, and we're bringing the fun to CryptidCon this year. It's gonna be fun.
We got a booth. We got a booth.
Yes.
Come up, talk to us, hang out. I don't know, man.
Booth and mistake.
Do you know where it is yet? Where the booth is in the hall?
No.
It's in the vendor room.
I hope we get set up like next to Polites or somebody. Just be.
He didn't have a booth last year.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get stuck next to Travis.
The Newkirks had a booth. We never talked.
Yeah.
They're not coming this year.
Yeah, the Newkirks aren't going to be there. No. Nope.
they're too big. Too big now.
No,
I mean, honestly,
what's going on, and I'll see her in 2 weeks at the Bell Grove Plantation.
Oh, you're going to that one?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
fuck yeah!
Oh yeah.
I'm doing them all. I'm gonna do it.
Get them.
Running the gamut.
You could do it. Yeah, man. CryptidCon's gonna be fucking awesome.
I can't wait. I'm like,
dude.
I've been packing for weeks.
Yeah, and it's not even about like honestly, the convention's more of a side. Like I'm just making it a cruising with steak party, pretty much. is what it's gonna be.
I didn't go to any lectures last year.
Yes.
I probably won't go to any this year either.
Are you guys staying in like a Holiday Inn or whatever you guys at?
No, the hotel that it's at. No, it's something.
Clarion, something.
Yeah, it's a Clarion, I think, or something like that. I don't know.
That's a Holiday Inn upscale, I think.
They got one of those little tiny fridges with cookies and stuff.
Oh, I hope they have a mini bar. That'd be awesome.
No.
Everybody should go to Jerry's room and raid the mini bar.
There is no mini bar.
There's a pool. There's a hot tub.
Hot tub? Is it a time machine hot tub?
Yeah.
You guys should do prank calls from the hotel room.
We could record them. We could just do crank anchors. Go really off brand and become a prank call show. Just totally switch it.
Pranking Polides.
Yes. So,
you know, his THC interview was pretty good.
I haven't listened to it yet. I've been looking at it in my feed, but
he was so standoffish last year at the convention, coupled with the fact that he was so myopic on his, the missing people and all that.
Yeah.
And the guy having a seizure or something during the middle of his show.
That didn't even matter, but it was just my general feeling towards him was meh,
Meh.
Well, because he wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's like he never.
After hearing him on THC, it's gone up. I just want to say.
I feel like he's leaning more towards the. He's finding that the more Bigfoot and paranormal side of the research is what's selling his books, and it's what the people want. So he's gonna buy into that. I mean, isn't he on like History Channel now? Didn't he start working with those guys?
Oh,
like
wow.
he's got stuff going on. I know he's got some TV shows in the works. But I guarantee he's gonna buy into this, dude. That the paranormal shit is selling right now. No matter any way you look at it, like that's
he's got a new movie out too.
Yeah, that's what the people want.
Like a month or whatever he does, but yeah, I mean, but yes, you're right. He's incorporating. He's moving into. He's more open-mindedness towards what it could be, specifically interdimensional kind of stuff, portals, because they talked about that.
Oh,
I've never heard him talk about that before.
No, dude, it's just crazy. What's going on? It's parks all across the country. People vanishing.
I think the UN's kidnapping people.
It could be some sort of human trafficking operation or experimental MK Ultra program.
Yeah, I don't know. Either that or I don't know. Wormholes.
40 and back. We talking 50 and back Mars programs hitting that space jump.
They just keep regressing you and work you for 100 years and throw you back at 20 years older.
I want to make a comment. The simple fact that I troll around Twitter all day pretty much, and this whole Corey Good Blue Avian story. The simple fact that I see him getting harassing CW Chanter and getting into fights with CW Chanter on Twitter. I mean, if anybody takes this guy legitimately, it's insane. It's just completely insane.
Corey, I don't want to talk about either, but Corey Good sent off this package.
I saw it.
Information, yeah. The Moab of
it's just like, dude. It's like but honestly, if you actually were pushing a message, you would completely disregard somebody like Chanter. Just ignore it. It's just noise. I have my following. Who cares what this guy's saying? It's crazy to me. The simple fact that he's able to get trolled so hard is just so hilarious. Fragile little babies trying to con a whole fucking subculture.
No, it's one baby and a troll. That's what it is.
Yeah. The baby and the troll. That needs to be a shirt.
It should be a TV show.
Yes, the baby and the troll.
Every week we pick a new Twitter winner. A baby and a troll. This week's baby, Meghan McCain.
Oh God, Meghan McCain going on about Second Amendment stuff. Tim Dillon made a great video of her. Tim Dillon, I subscribed to his Patreon and I've been listening to his just back catalogs. I'm gonna rot my brain, but he's he's the funniest dude ever. I fucking love Tim Dillon.
I'm fucking around on Twitter right now.
So speaking of cryptids, what's your guys' favorite cryptid?
Oh man, favorite cryptid, probably dinosaurs.
Oh.
I have to say,
Got him.
Got him.
I'm a big fan of the jackalope, I got to tell you.
Jackalope's nice, man. Jackalope's good.
Yeah.
Man, dude, there's so many. Well, it's just
Brief shout out to DJ Jackalope. Sorry, I gonna miss DEF CON this year, but I'm still buying your discs.
I don't know what that was. That was a CIA.
Pterodactyl sightings lately.
Oh, the pterodactyl. I don't know, man, dude. I mean, honestly, I have huge birds by me, huge vultures, huge herons and stuff. If you see a giant bird in the sky flying, you can't really make out how big it is. And honestly, some of these birds, huge vultures, they look like they have 6-7 foot wingspans, flying in the air. I just think people, yeah, and I think people just don't realize what they're seeing, or just they're what the hell,
man? Big
birds flying. It's got to be a pterodactyl.
But we have some breaking news, by the way.
Yes, let's hear it.
A guy named Joseph Riccari, former Palm Beach detective who led the Epstein investigation, dies at 50.
Of course he does. And this is right after what was it? His
model friend. or
yes,
whatever.
yes, disappeared, vanished without a trace. Okay,
A
cool.
week after he was highlighted as one of
Right.
the close. New York Post has been investigating like all his connections, local connections, and found this guy. And I forgot what the article said, but basically he cased modeling joints for new meat, I guess. And
what I say is what I say.
there was something else too. There was some other place too. Dance studios. That was it.
Oh,
James-
dance.
James, give me like two dBs up on that soundboard.
Yeah, I was having problems with it.
Anyway,
I need Trump in my head. Yeah, dude. I mean, there's all these people just dying around him. There's nothing suspicious about that.
it's people who were close to him who knew stuff.
And whatever happened to Ghislaine Maxwell? She gets this amazing photo shoot in the New York Post or whatever, and then she's gone. Like, what's that?
Who's looking for?
What is all this? Like, what is all this stuff? And why are people just not asking questions, or they don't even care at all?
Well, we don't know that they're not asking questions.
That's
And
true.
Why nobody really is looking for her? She's not wanted for anything.
Yeah, wasn't she named in some of the
There's like 7 suits against her, and she was.
Yeah, but didn't
named
some of the
as-
victims name her or something? Epstein's victims?
Nobody's gonna know that name.
But there's no charges
that's true.
pressed against her. It doesn't matter. She's out and about.
No,
If
there
she
was also
remains
a suit
alive and everyone else dies, you got to figure who's calling in the hits.
don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
Who's calling in the hits? Well, we don't know.
Last man standing.
Could be.
Did you guys hear on when I think it was No Agenda was talking about how he also has a compound in New Mexico that's like
Yeah, hasn't
right
been touched.
next to. Remember that that when they shut down that sun observatory, it was
Yes.
like right in the same area. And remember how it was like the dude wasn't it like a CP thing that he got?
Yep,
those
it
things-
was. That's what, at least that's what they came out and said it was. Yeah, there was a CP
Yeah.
thing.
Happened
Doesn't
like
exist, folks.
That's
stone's throw away from an Epstein
Yeah,
compound.
jeez.
And it has yet to be raided by the FBI or anything.
Like, what is going on? Did you guys follow the or saw that video of the drone guy that flies over Little St. James? They dude, there was Rusty, exactly. There was that dude, like there was like an Epstein lookalike on the island, or it was Epstein. There's like a dude leaning against the car that looked identical to Epstein, just like leaning against a car.
It's his twin brother.
It could be. But it's like, there's still all this activity going on the
I
island.
have one lately.
It's a deep fakes. Everything's deep fakes. God.
Could be.
We're gonna see pictures.
I saw
We're gonna see.
All the astronauts who died on the Challenger disaster, they all
Yeah.
have like twins. Who
Yeah,
are
there's a bunch of
alive.
those twins.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a thread on the Chads about that was supposed to be. Somebody mentioned that was one of the agents or one of the people that was processing the crime scene from the FBI, and they had a notional description of the conversation. Hey, Fred sort of looks like Epstein. Why don't we send him there? That'll be fucking hilarious.
God, jeez. Yeah. But you started
That's more
that.
believable than Epstein being alive. To
Yeah,
be honest,
it is. But any sentence started with, I was reading a thread on the Chans, has to be taken with a grain of salt right there. I mean,
the truth.
I'm not holding it out there as God's truth or anything. I'm
Yeah.
just it's anecdotal. I thought it was funny at the time when I read it.
I've been thinking about it. 4chan and 8chan, those threads really exploit the wisdom of the crowd concept in the way that things are upvoted and downvoted and pushed aside and what's elevated. It really gets the mass, when people get behind something altogether, or when the average is there, it kind of points towards the truth. It's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like there's a kind of an analog to that in it. Believe it or not, in FBI. I mean, that's one of their things is that they have like 13,000 agents or some damn thing. And if they have a problem with analysis of huge volumes of data, they just they literally throw people at it.
Mhm.
and they'll farm out portions of the problem or part of the analysis to different parts of the country to whoever's got slack in their schedule right now.
But there's a meta layer above that that's aggregating it, right? I mean, because that's where the decision is made, and that's where you can see the pattern of the spread of the data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some analysis that happens, some low level analysis that happens, and then it ends up getting processed by whoever's working the case.
So I heard Biden today said he wanted to ban all magazines that hold more than one bullet in his gun control plan.
Buy a shotgun.
Yeah, if you
his own recommendation would violate that policy.
Buy a shotgun. Yeah. Oh,
so
man.
does that mean rail guns are legal?
Either fucked up or he's fucked up.
Yes, everybody's
one shot, one kill.
Yes,
going with a rail gun.
I need my standard issued potato gun. We're doing this. What's up, MellowHorus?
Are you Mellow?
He's MellowHorus.
Are you Horus?
He's our young millennial.
Yeah.
Is he like 14, 16, 17?
No, that's a Zoomer. Young millennials are like in their lower 20s, something like that.
My kids are 20 and 20.
Yeah, your kids are young
20,
millennials, Jer. Very young millennials. They're on the cusp of Zoomer.
Yeah, my one daughter was 97, the other was 99.
Yep. Yeah, I think 2000's the cutoff. Yeah, MellowHorus.
Jojo Rabbit.
Nothing. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Jojo Rabbit?
Jojo Rabbit. Never heard of him.
My favorite cryptid is Skinwalkers. By the way.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Dude.
Now, is that strictly like a Native American lore? That's where that comes from, Skinwalkers?
That specific term for it is.
Yeah. What do you think they are? Or what are they? Give us a rundown of a Skinwalker.
A Skinwalker is, according to their lore, is a like sort of a evil shaman, just that doesn't like does things the wrong way, turns into horrifying creatures at night or something, dog-like creatures.
You're not a nice person.
It seems like most of the reports are like
Right.
dog-like creatures in the desert chasing people around in their cars and generally just causing havoc, animal mutilations.
I like it.
Yeah, the way I learned it was that they try to change their awareness, and that reflects the shape of the animal whose awareness that they're adopting. So
there we go.
If they're trying to adopt a wolf or a coyote or a jaguar or whatever, that they end up looking like that, whatever it is that they're trying to be, to whoever is experiencing them.
It's interesting. So they just grab your projections somehow.
No, they
Something
bounce
like
off you.
Yeah, bouncing ricochets.
It's a co-creative thing. Hey, my favorite cryptid is those creepy clowns who showed up in the forest and shit.
Oh yeah, that was
Wasn't that all related to Jade Helm or something?
No, I thought it was wasn't it like a huge native ad for the movie It?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because that's when It came out, and there was clowns everywhere, and it was also
it was about a year before it came out.
Yeah, it was 2016, wasn't it? It was during the election, during the election cycle. Everything was crazy.
It has happened before too. John Keel wrote about it, I think, or Lauren Coleman, one of the two.
Yeah, I remember everybody was losing their minds. Creepy clowns.
Yeah, I
like it.
I still haven't seen it.
Welcome, MellowHorus. You're working now. What's up, man?
Oh, so now you guys can hear me.
Yeah, you're coming through.
I was talking and I was like, I think they can hear me,
Nope.
but I'm not sure.
Nope. Now you're coming through.
You can't hear.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, dude.
Hey, welcome
Thanks
to the
for having me
show.
on.
Hey, no problem.
Young blood.
Young blood.
Cruising State.
Yeah.
Love it,
And
man.
Booty Rooter, Grim likes foreskin walkers. He got me. He got me there. Like foreskin. Hey, that guy, that Booty Rooter. He's got the zings.
The most amazing guy.
He's the most amazing guy.
San Francisco officials designate the NRA as a domestic terror organization.
That'd be interesting if they had any standing to do that.
Yeah, that's just
Antifa
calling
can run
something name.
wild. It's crazy.
You know,
I'm going to stop reading the news. It's pissing me off.
yeah, dude. I've just I've cut a lot of it out. Just it's literally all election and what's gonna rip you. There's nothing good there. And then if something big happens, I'll figure out about it anyway. But other than that, it's just petty nonsense bullshit.
Right, and if you didn't hear about it, it doesn't affect it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Pretty
So I'll fill my Twitter up with just insane anime gifs. I don't care. Stay those all day.
You should see my Facebook feed.
Oh man.
It's like if there's a boat with 33 divers burns to the water line and nobody's there to see it. Did it really happen?
Ooh. Yes. Maybe. Don't hit. Let's not do this. Come on. Let's see if I gotta check this out. I think let's do some hate mail, guys.
Hate mail already.
Yeah, dude, let's do it. I'm ready. I got some good hate mails in here. If it works, there we go.
James Cruz and Grimsteak. James Cruz and Grimsteak. Hate mail, a woo. GRIMSTAKN. Gmail, a woo. James Cruz and Grimsteak. Hate mail, a woo.
All right, we have hate mail. A couple of them. We'll stop that. We got. This is from Lady Aboshi. I had to take a drink. Dear CWS.
Oops. Sorry.
The last few podcasts have I need a sheet. The last few podcasts have made me fall asleep in 30 minutes or less because of how fucking bored I was. Who's writing this shit now? Oh no. My phone just died. Who's writing this shit now anyway? Even Felix's sweet, tender tunes have greatly declined in sweetness. Stop allowing random guests to pop on and quote-unquote chat, because all I hear is womp 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 womp. Rest in peace to my favorite podcast, aka CWS. P.S. None of that is true. I'm totally just kidding. Love you guys. You're my favorite. You rock. Lady Aboshi. But I mean, she's right. All that she let the truth out first and then she pulled it back.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And then we have one from
downhill, you know.
yeah, I mean it is. This is from Spangly Spuns, titled "Naruto Sucks, Dude," and it says, "It really sucks, man." And that's all Spangly Spuns said.
The headline,
the title and the body.
is-
And this is from I don't know, Mr. Grimsteak. Your paid listener subscription expires in 7 days. Please ensure you have sufficient funds in your account to withdraw on September 10th to ensure Booty Rooter continues as a listener. As always, if you would like to upgrade your listener subscription to the premium or ultimate subscription level, please reach out to us at www.rentpodcastlisteners.com/upgrade. we need to renew our Booty Rooter subscription, or he's gonna stop listening. And
that's a good idea. We should try that.
we'll pay people for listeners. We also got an iTunes review, a 5-star review on there. Which
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
dude, I know, right?
I
Thank you.
jerk off at least twice a day.
All right.
Those are rookie numbers.
Oh no, this isn't gonna work. It might, but we don't know. Fill some air. Let's get some
But we
soundboards.
don't know.
Yeah, there we go. Pull some soundboards
So what's
for a
with
little
those
bit.
pterodactyls? Are they real? Is that bullshit?
I don't know.
Were they
Pterodactyls.
just birds?
Why would I have
Really big
prepared?
Have you seen the videos? They look really like pterodactyls.
Yeah.
Aren't they drones?
Oh,
Isn't there like some sort of new drone with that looks like a pterodactyl?
dude, birds aren't real.
These things are flying with like flappy wings and shit.
That's the whole birds
I'm
aren't
gonna get a
real
video
thing.
right now. I'll find a video.
Dude, birds aren't real.
If they have dancing robots, they can
That's
have
the
real
drones.
birds.
They're not drones.
Oh, okay, here we
Well,
go.
the pterodactyls are drones.
We got a 5-star review from JPM2222, and it's titled Turducken. All he says is, don't diss the turducken. This podcast is rad. 5 stars. So apparently we might have dissed turduckens at some point.
I think we talked about that.
I remember talking about
try one.
We were talking about turducken at some point.
Did you bring it up, that guy?
I got to get down with the next one.
I brought it up. It's for the listeners who don't know, it's a duck with a turd in it.
A turducken.
No, it's a chicken stuffed in a duck stuffed in a turkey.
Mm.
With sausage or stuffing or whatever you're going to put inside. So yeah,
Is there even room for stuffing at that point?
Oh, you could stuff it.
You can really bone
jam it.
each carcass is boned completely.
Yeah.
So you're making a roulade basically. You can
And then you
stuff
take the bones out.
I already said that.
Yeah, they're all deboned.
No.
Yeah.
You totally boned them. Never mind.
Yeah, no, they're easy to make. They're hard. They're a pain in the ass to prepare, but it's easy to assemble.
Or you can buy them on Amazon.
You can buy them on Amazon. They're like $50 or $100 or something.
Yeah.
All right, maybe they are drones.
Maybe. Did you see some videos?
Oh, but everyone keeps. I see a lot of debunking.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Which I don't know who knows if you could even trust a debunker at this point.
Right, it's Google. Who knows? They're going to promote the bullshit.
Just want clicks.
Yep, want
Somebody
those
need
clicks.
to debunk a turducken.
Well, if I think if pterodactyls were real somehow, more people would know. You would hear their sounds. Like, I feel like that'd be something that, you know, I mean, like, dude, if a crazy, like if like a kangaroo escapes from the zoo or something and is running around town, like, people know about it. Like, people notice weird shit. Yeah, like, that looks like some sort of airplane
Doing
or
a
something.
flip.
But before I heard that it could have been a drone, I would never have looked that closely at it.
Yeah. Yeah, look.
You see what
Yeah.
it just did there? It dipped. Like,
Yeah, that was kind of it's because its head got caught in the drag.
It just
Like, look at those wings. That's mechanical flapping.
Totally. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't. When I first saw this, I'm like, wow, that looks so real.
Yeah, it totally does. Absolutely.
But yeah, it's fake.
That looks like a technology demo for freaking Game of Thrones.
It's got 2.5 million views, and it was over Idaho. It's probably that guy.
That
I'm
wasn't me.
skeptical whenever I see a well-taken video of something in the air. You know,
Can you imagine?
they got the perfect shot, and it even does a little duck. Little,
This bitch looks. Oh, thank you, Jer.
nod.
That bitch looked crazy. You're about to click on. And this guy's just like, hey, let me pull a bunch of pterodactyl pictures out of a freaking 1940s school book.
He's just trying to capitalize on the fucking 2.2 million views.
Yeah.
you know?
He still
That bitch
wrangled
is
40K. Pterodactyl
that?
sighting in Illinois? What?
I will tell you that if there's a pterodactyl over Idaho, it's going down. I'm just telling you.
Oh yeah, you have like those Israeli defense systems in your freaking yard. So you're good, that guy.
No, I don't buy Israeli shit. Come on, I'm a Raytheon, but I'm a Raytheon fanboy.
There's no video. It's just
No, it's just a bunch of bullshit. That's all it is. Like everything I ever try to find, it all just is a bunch of bullshit in the end.
That's a crap.
It was supposed to be in Austria.
Yeah.
What about the
It looks just
Thunderbirds?
like the other one.
You know, there was a story a while back in Texas about this was, I say a while back, it was like in 1970 something.
A while back.
Yeah, this was a long time ago. Back in the late 1900s, there was a story about a giant bird that used to terrorize the south part of Texas, where all the citrus crops and lettuce and stuff like that was grown. They just called it the big bird, and they would. The story was that it would swoop down and carry off like dogs and goats and occasionally people, and it scared the crap out of people. And it was about the same time as the giant armadillo stories were going around.
Now that I would like to see.
But that I could.
Armadillo.
That was an ad campaign from Lone Star Beer that the trucks, the beer trucks, kept getting attacked by a giant armadillo.
Jesus. But like things like Thunderbirds, I can totally, I could buy that because dude, there's some huge birds. There are huge birds.
Yeah.
And I think like if there's maybe a couple of them, you know, you don't really know. Maybe they're more nocturnal. You're not going to see a bird flying at night. Like who knows?
So somewhere I've got a story about the
swoop down and pick up a chihuahua.
Yeah, look at owls. I mean, owls fly through the woods. They don't make a sound. They just silently soar. Come on.
So I found some better footage of one of those cheesy drones.
Yeah.
It's like a kid's toy.
It is. I kind of want one.
Look at this. It's like got eyeballs and stuff painted.
That one isn't
crazy.
flapping though. To be
Yeah,
fair.
that one's a little cheesier. I want that flapping one. Looked good though.
Okay, I've got an audio clip for you about the big bird.
Ooh.
Let's hear it.
Oh, crap.
Big birds are nothing unusual in the tropical Rio Grande Valley of South Texas, so the appearance of an unusually large bird in the beginning of the year 1976 didn't really attract much attention. Police officers didn't take seriously reports of a bird with a 10 to 20-foot wingspan and the body the size of a small man until a police officer saw the bird himself. Two officers for the San Benito Police Department were on patrol one night when they saw a bird fly over their squad car, and whose wingspan, both would later say, almost covered both lanes of the highway. More sightings of it followed. A man living on the outskirts of the coastal city of Brownsville, Texas, told officers he was awakened by the sound of a large thud against his house trailer. He and his family were so frightened that he drove to the rear of his home in his truck to investigate. His headlights fell on a creature he said was 4 to 5 feet tall, with large buggy-like eyes, a big beak, a bat-like face with white feathers. He said the bird was definitely not of this world. Soon many people said they saw the bird. Bird-like footprints were discovered in a freshly plowed field behind a Harlingen home. They were measured and found to be 12 inches long and 9 inches wide. More residents of the valley said they thought they saw the bird, and the Cameron County Sheriff's Department was called numerous times to come and catch it. But they never found anything. The January 2nd, 1976 sighting of the big bird by two police officers led people to wonder if there wasn't such a creature. And it wasn't too much longer before someone claimed they had been attacked by a large bird. A Raymondville man was taken to a hospital in that South Texas town and was treated and released for shock after he said he was attacked by a black bird the size of a man with a monkey-like face. The Willacy County Sheriff's Department showed newsmen a jacket and shirt that were supposed to have been torn by the bird in its attack on the man. Scratches were found on the side of an old building, and the victim would not talk with reporters till 24 hours later because his family said he was in bed, recovering from shock, and could only keep muttering, "The bird, the bird." Two Laredo boys were scared off the banks of the Rio Grande River, where they said they had been frightened by a huge bird with a body the size of a man. The 19-year-old and 9-year-old boy said that they will probably never fish there again. The bird, though it's never been found, has become a worldwide tale for discussion over a cup of coffee. But we
Calls
don't know.
have come from as far away as England, New Zealand, and Australia, asking no harm to come to the creature. And one Valley radio station even posted a $1,000 reward for its capture alive, safe, and unharmed in any way. Zoological authorities speculate on what kind of bird it could be, but then say that no bird known to man, not even the Australian ostrich, could leave such a large footprint as those discovered. And many people in this valley of palms and fruit trees say they hope the big bird is never found and becomes a folk legend, like the Bigfoot of the Pacific Northwest.
People think I'm controversial, but the truth is, I'm a nice guy.
Dude, that's awesome. I mean,
There you have it.
but you know, you get that story, and whether or not, I mean, you hear that you have the two cops. That seems like the most legitimate evidence. But then everybody else could be copycats after that. But it's still interesting. Huge birds, the monkey face. What?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's like it almost sounds like the story exaggerated though, as people told it. You know, it gets crazier. It's all the full
I tried
legends
to
happen.
approximate the story with pictures.
Oh, it was great. Those shoe bill freaking whatever they are. Those things look like Muppets. They look like Jim Henson things. It's insane.
They look really smart,
Yeah.
like very smart.
They're birds, they're
I
not.
don't know if it's like their face. It's like the way they look. They
Yeah,
look kind of
smart bird.
intelligent. Like, like
Yeah,
what's
like
up?
like Skeksis from Dark Crystal.
Yes,
Which I've been rewatched. I watched the first
Yeah.
episode. Pretty good. I need to pick it back up.
Yep.
Pretty good stuff.
I just don't want to watch it.
It's
I don't know if you guys ever watched any
Attack
of the
on Titan?
Stargate series.
Stargate? No, I never really got
Yeah.
into Stargate that much.
I tried to watch Atlantis, but it was too stupid.
No,
Yeah,
dude, check out
SG1.
on
Couldn't do it.
on Hulu.
Portal. Was that
Uh,
to ancient Egypt and all that stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah, I never
there's
saw
all
it.
these different versions of it. I think but over the years in
Like,
different channels.
It's like all the different Stargates around the planet has a team, and it's the show's about that team.
Yeah. Well, on Hulu, they have Stargate Universe. It's dope, dude. It's like kind of like the Expanse, like just that cold dead of space type show. But
I can't wait till that show starts. Back.
yeah, but it's kind of like that, dude. And there's a few seasons on there, so that's it. So far, so good. It's pretty cool. The show starts out with this desolate spaceship, and all of a sudden the Stargate fires up. It was on the ship, and all of a sudden, a bunch of people start jumping through the gate, and they're landing all over the place, and they have no clue because they thought they were jumping to Earth. They're coming to Earth, but then all of a sudden they end up just like on a cold floor in this spaceship, and yeah, they find out it's from the ancients or whatever, which was like the people that built the Stargates, so it was pretty cool. And I've watched a few episodes, and I'll keep watching.
Stargates are disclosure for real Stargates, They got them out there, I'm sure.
That's a rumor that keeps getting repeated.
Maybe at CERN.
The jump rooms. You ever hear the jump room thing where they're
Yeah, there's a trip chair too.
right? Yeah. There's I remember people would film these just random office buildings, and be like, "That's a government jump room inside that building right there."
What was one?
That was just pretty recent. Yeah,
yeah, I remember someone
what
said
was that? Yeah.
I don't know. Basago said there was one in LA or up there. Was it 666 something like Santa Monica Boulevard?
Basago.
Yeah, that I always got a kick out of that.
So you think he actually time traveled? You think he's full of shit?
In his mind, he may have.
Right? And doesn't that make it real enough? If it happens to you and you experience it, isn't that reality in definition?
Absolutely.
Not even leave your house.
Oh.
But you can't really affect change in your timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Because your timeline's moving forward, and you're affecting things in your past that already happened, so they can't. Your current coincides with your past at that point. So the only thing going forward is the future for both of you. See what I mean?
Right. Well, yeah, because the future is the only thing that can't be quantified yet, really. I mean, because you know what's existing in the present. You have a memory of what happened in the past. So it's just like,
correct.
Okay, I'm with you.
I think you're making an assumption though that your timeline is tied to your awareness, and that's not necessarily the case. Your physical person could be completely independent from your awareness.
Yeah, I don't think you can time travel except through your mind.
Yeah, I don't think you. No, meat does not travel. You can't return.
Well, I think that's the point, right? I mean,
quantum leap.
No. I mean, even aside from quantum leap, I mean, the quantum leap thing was about physically going someplace
through possessing people, about demons.
But the idea of decoupling whatever physical personage you have and in any given timeline from your awareness, it's like getting out of your car and into somebody else's car and driving that. It's
Okay.
like you would have there would be a physical person that
You possess.
that would be yeah. It
So,
would be like
so
a
you
possession.
so you need you need some meat to possess, pretty much.
But that person, I think that person would have to be related to you.
Some kind of vehicle. No, it doesn't. Why would it need to be related?
How do you direct it? How do you move? Unless you have some kind of anchor like your lineage, your DNA that you can trace back to a certain person at a certain time.
That's true. You
There's
can't
no-
use like Chevy parts in a Ford, you know?
You can't just arbitrarily pick, oh, I'm going to go possess Abraham Lincoln. Do. That ain't going to work.
What if it was your great grandkids?
Then you've got.
Yeah, you got the
How do you
ancestors
know?
there.
Because of your
Abraham.
DNA.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know. I don't even know if it's possible. I'm just saying. If it were.
Yeah.
If true.
True, if big.
That's how I think you could do it. You could somehow like tap into the consciousness of your great grandkids or your great grandmother and somehow like see things through what they saw. Maybe. I mean, I have no idea. That's if you were doing it through your mind.
Your ancestral consciousness, I would imagine, is part of yours too.
Exactly. It's like another filter that you could maybe tune to.
How about a
in some way.
foundation upon which you built your consciousness?
Foundation?
A base layer?
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Starting point?
Well, look, I mean, that's epigenetics.
Like
That's
see.
things are passed down through your consciousness, and I mean, like that's where you are. That's who you are. This is the people that came before you. So you have to. Have
I don't think. Well, personally, I think that consciousness is non-local.
Yeah.
It's not in your head, right? So that would mean your DNA has to have a pointer to the cloud where your files are stored. It's more of a pointer system than a storage. It stores those pointers, but I don't think it stores, memories.
So it's like a directory almost.
Like a certain hard drive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What if you were female twins and you could interchange bodies? Would that make you like Pointer Sisters?
Pointer Sisters.
Yeah.
I don't know what Pointer Sisters
Yeah,
is.
I don't know what you're talking about, that guy.
I know the group.
They were a group from the 20s.
Yeah.
But I like where the question's going.
20s, God, you
They
guys.
they did Charleston music,
Deep cut
Chattanooga
references.
Choo Choo. Remember that song?
Flip Wilson. Let's bring it back.
How about those 100
I'm not that old.
references?
Give me those 100-year-old references. I'm all about it.
Man, Buster Keaton was the shit.
Oh, man.
So do you also have epigenetics from your future generations?
I don't know what that means. What's epigenetics?
That's like deep shit that's in your genes, just ingrained in you, that gets passed down. Like, what's an example of that?
Like traits, like eye color and.
But isn't it also, no, I think it's more like, isn't it like birds that know how, like some people say that's how birds are able to like navigate places and whatnot. Like it's not just a human thing.
Oh, instinctual things.
It's sort of instinctual. Let's get you know what? We have the access of all the information in the world in front of us. Let's get a definition.
Debatably.
The thing I would say here is that is a physical,
debatably,
muscle memory type of thing, like walking or breathing or, those kind of things. I'm sure those are stored in the DNA. Or it's natural for the body to do that. I don't know, something like that.
What is an example?
I'm talking more about memories and visions and, experiences of other people stored elsewhere that you can access through your DNA. It's like it points to it in the cloud. Hey, over there, go over there.
The Akashic record.
Like a Dewey Decimal System for the Akashic record.
Yeah.
Alex Jones, he had that story where he got like choked out, and he said that he lived a whole lifetime as like some dude.
It's because he was a man when he was 12 years old.
Was
Like,
that
why-
Phil Hicks?
Yeah, he wasn't a grown man. He was a kid. Yeah,
I
you're right.
tend to not believe that.
Yeah, I know. It was a crazy story.
Dude, Jones,
He started crying during it. It was crazy.
yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. I mean, Alex
Things that
Jones.
you back up with facts or stories, no problem believing it. Like the gay frogs. I'm all on board.
It's all real, dude. And they're growing babies in cows for 25 years. Like, yeah, human animal hybrids are a total thing. Like, it's absolutely going on. Whoa, hey, did you guys see about
they serve at McDonald's?
So my brain did this free association where I said humans growing babies and cows. Then I went to China. Then I went to the moon. And China's lunar lander found some goo on the moon. There's moon goo up there in a crater.
Yes. Some unusual color that's it's like glass or something like that.
How do they even know what color it is? Everything's black and white up there. There's no color on the moon.
It's not black and white.
Well, the moon is black and white, but if something is not black or white or gray, then obviously you're going to see it.
Are you though?
I mean,
do our eyes work the same in space? Do we even know this?
Well, there's a couple of pictures that thing has, and the dirt's all like,
those pictures
moved around and stuff, and you can see it's like a little orangish color, dirt color, brown.
So listen to this.
Go ahead.
The Chinese lunar rover U-22 discovered an unidentified gel-like substance on the far side of the moon, unquote, back in July. They additionally described the extraterrestrial slime as being unusually colored, but did not clarify what exactly that Lovecraftian statement meant. This is not a real story.
No, Lovecraftian, yeah. It's nonsense.
It's a reference to an old H.P. Lovecraft book called The Color of Space.
It's Chinese propaganda. That's what it is. The whole report came from Chinese state-run media. Let's put that out there first.
Yes.
I mean, really, the whole report. Yeah. Chinese state-run media.
But we can trust our government space agency, right?
Totally.
Guys?
Space Force. Yeah, 100%. Didn't Trump just sink like a ton of money into the Space Defense Force or something going on right now? What is going on?
Space Force.
That's different.
What's happening here?
That's part of the military versus, not that NASA isn't under the DoD, but it's a research. They're not equipped to fight in space.
So do you think that does this tie into all the Tom DeLonge TTSA fear porn stuff? Because that's basically his whole MO going out there saying that they're dangerous and we don't know anything about them.
I think they're capitalizing on Trump's plans. It's not a collaboration.
Wasn't it interesting that this is just recycled shit from the 80s? Like, they literally did the same exact program. Like, Reagan introduced the Star Wars program, and they had the whole big UFO boom. Like, they put it all on TV, and they did that whole disclosure shit. Bob Lazar coming out. Everything happened. It's literally, it's 30 years later, and we're doing the same thing. I'm sorry, Jerry, go.
Exactly. No, you're right. Since then, it's just the same stories recycled over and over and over again. This stuff was promoted as new, and what was more interesting was the mainstream was promoting it. So
yeah,
but it just turned out to be marketing.
There is nothing new under the sun. All of this is
it's the ether.
Oops.
No, I mean, really,
I don't know a lot about that whole vampire
I'm sorry.
stuff. Like,
I know
it's a
going
thing.
off right now. I'm sorry.
No, there just hasn't been any kind of real validation of any of that shit since the digital age has taken hold at a more, or not hold, but so many people use digital applications and work on the internet and everything. They're not going to listen to a radio broadcast about aliens or read a book about it. They're going to want to see pictures or video. You know what I mean? That's what's going to get people going.
So there's a speaking of which,
it's going to be recycled. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. Speaking of which, there's a story going around about a deep fake picture of Justin Bieber that looks exactly like him, but he's wearing a dress and he's smoking a cigarette.
So,
well, we've known about deep fakes for a long time, but it's hitting the mainstream.
And the Jordan Peterson thing got taken down, and a new one. I just read about it today. Somebody made one of their boss's voice or the CEO's voice and did some kind of called somebody with that voice and did some kind of cybercrime.
Jeez.
I forgot what I read in the story, but it was, he got a password out of somebody or got someone to do something by using his boss's voice or the CEO's voice. I don't think it was his boss. I'll reread the story, but it uses deep fake audio. It's the point to commit a crime.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to. It's it's starting to enter the mainstream, and people are starting to think about it in real terms.
Yeah, but
and it begs the question: what's coming?
Happen? Yeah, exactly.
What are they going to blame on this?
Well, what will they take away? What rights will they take away from us to fix it?
I don't know that it's. I don't think it's a rights thing. I think it's an excuse thing. I think it's plausible deniability that they're building.
Oh, that too. But they're right now they're provably fake. You can look at it and see that it's false.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as the technology gets better, you won't be able to tell. For all we know, Anderson Cooper could be all CGI.
I've figured Anderson Cooper was CGI for a long time.
It's possible.
I mean, they've been deep faking space for the last 75 years.
Forever. Yeah, I know. I agree.
Beefsteak. We shouldn't weaponize space. That's a good idea.
That whole thing, I think it's just going to be all CGI or
guns back.
Oh, totally is.
Earth orbit, and just the rest of the money will go into black projects.
Totally is, because human beings are not meant to leave this Earth. It's just not supposed to happen. We're not made for it. We're not meant to.
I think once you get away from the vibration of the planet, you die.
Send robots
exactly,
out there.
dude. We were in a symbiosis with this huge living organism. Like, we're not supposed to.
My
leave.
avatar.
We're not supposed to. That's what
the
I'm saying.
big secret,
like,
I think, is that the
consciousness travels.
No, that we're all like tied to the Schumann resonance.
We are.
And
100%.
if you get out of range of that, you die. Like it keeps you alive,
right?
While your body is alive.
I was thinking. I was thinking about something today.
I think that's the big secret. That's the big disclosure.
There's never the one thing that modern technology has brought us is like fast travel and airplanes and shit. Like, what if there's something that has to do with the way that humans link up with like sleep cycles or with actual how we see time, and this whole like jet lag and being able to like travel and be in like different time zones and all this crazy shit way faster is just screwing up the entire Earth. Like, there needs to be some sort of balance with like, okay, you have to move along with everything smooth, and then there's all these crazy shit going on because people are just traveling in jets across the country in like hours, and who knows, man, putting them in different spots. I don't know. My brain just went there when I was really stoned.
I don't understand what you meant. But
I ran into a fellow not from here. I ran into a fellow not here that speculated that, and it's going to get somewhat metaphysical, I guess, that the Creator put whatever it is we need to live near us in terms of food and water and that kind of thing. And that it's not necessary for us to import food because everything that we need to live where we are is where we are. And so I had to ask him, does that mean that eating food from someplace else is blasphemy?
Or maybe not just that. Maybe there's literally some sort of vibrations or deeper connection that we have no idea about that's completely throwing shit off whack because we just took things into our own control.
Even as simple as chemistry. I mean, it could be anything. And for the record, for the listeners and people who are finding this years hence, I am absolutely unqualified to opine on any of this stuff. I'm only asking the question. so don't form any religions. So that's but it was an interesting question around the idea of the stuff that you need is right there next to you, and you kind of don't need anything else. It's sort of I guess expanding on whatever you got.
Oh man, I could see it.
Living my best life.
But I could also, I just feel like there's a lot of chaos. There's so much chaos in the world because things are just so, we're not harmonizing with anything. It's just, everything's just complete insanity. Complete insanity and chaos.
New York.
Yes, exactly. Avocado toast? Come on.
I can't help but bring up the correlation.
$10 billion. I have a great company. I employ thousands of people.
Yeah, like
I learned by watching you.
I can't help thinking that there's correlation to the giant solar storm that just came in.
Possibly, yeah.
Did you see the KP index the last few days?
Have not. Fill me in.
There was like almost a level 6 storm.
Yeah, all our Bahamas listeners out there, I hope you're safe.
Dude,
all our hurricane people. around there. Good vibes. Although I'm pretty sure Trump, didn't he like punch the hurricane in the face and make it stop before it hit the coast or something?
Yeah, well, CNN was running an opinion. I think it was an opinion piece. God, I hope it was an opinion.
Just
piece.
like I promised, right?
Exactly. About Trump was saying that he wanted to nuke the hurricanes, which he didn't.
Right.
But that it was racist because hurricanes come from Africa.
Oh yeah, I did see that. That's right. Yeah, I saw that.
That's
the
they
KPI.
claimed that he was being racist.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, nuke those African, those black hurricanes.
Oh my god.
Hurricanes always coming over here, freaking raping our daughters
It's like
and
the
shit.
Weekly World News and
Raping our dogs.
the Weekly World News. Anyway,
I need to put that dog in.
here's the KP index, guys.
Man, that's crazy, Jer.
It was red back here.
Well, you know what's really crazy is I don't know what I'm reading right now because I have like a 3rd grade education. I see green and red and yellow.
Bad.
Yeah, I see some red. Red is bad. Okay.
If you look at the particles, like from the solar wind and stuff, why isn't this bigger?
K index is how much K you have to consume to understand what the sun is trying to tell you.
I really want to show you this chart, but here we go.
Things are looking bright.
This one's better. What does that say? I'll just make it look. There we go. So this gives you the temperature of the solar wind, the speed, the density. The phi is the angle, and then the shift in angle. And I don't know what this is. BT.
So the
I don't know what
sun's
that is.
trying to kill us, pretty much.
But you see these spikes here?
Yeah. Spikes.
Those are
Spiegel.
cosmic rays.
Well, but they're invisible. They can't hurt us, Jer. Invisible rays can't hurt us.
I know that, but I'm saying these are the spikes. And these coincide with that KP index.
Man.
See?
The BZNT is the interplanetary magnetic field.
Oh yeah.
Space
no,
Force.
It's
Space
no,
Force.
it's a unit force. The NT stands for nano Tesla.
It's really small Tesla.
That's an energy measurement.
The tiny Tesla.
Tiny Tesla. The new model.
So how long is it going to be before anybody makes the connection between Space Force and Solar Warden?
Well, Solar Warden, that's familiar, but I couldn't tell you what it is.
I don't think
Yeah,
it's
it was,
real. I don't think Solar Warden's real.
It was one of the I don't think it was very good.
It was
the
one
other
of the 2 secret space program names.
Yeah.
It was alleged that Gary McKinnon, is that a guy?
Yes.
He came
He
up
found
with the
the name.
name, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think he came up with it. I think he found it on that whatever system it was that
He
he
came up with it in the documents, is what I meant.
Yeah.
You ever notice like the magnetic fields of the Earth kind of looks like an eyeball?
The magnetopause?
Just the diagram of here. Let me share it quick for you, so you can see it.
I just saw Magneto again.
That's what happens when your
eyeball.
That's what happens when your magnets get aged is magnetopause.
He's in
It's when you're 50 and you stick a magnet.
X-Men movie.
You have your uterus replaced with a magnet and you're 55 years old. Magnetopause.
As long as you're not going near Uranus.
Looks more like an octopus. Doesn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Or spider. Turn it sideways, looks like the Spider-Man logo.
An octopus
Yeah, it
swimming. It's a swimming octopus. You know, the head's out with all the legs back. Yeah, dude, octopus are weird, man. Just weird.
That
things.
dog.
Those are aliens. There's that dog.
Yeah, we got.
Hey, wait, does Felix, you got a jam tonight? I'm going there.
Yeah, I could play one.
Man, we missed it
Don't let
last
us
week.
twist your arm.
I know, right? I mean, I just.
I could play.
Yeah, I'll play.
Let me get my guitar.
All right, I'll get my guitar.
Oh, bother. I heard something.
Hey, I just want to make a comment. I've been seeing that you have been selling quite a few albums. You know, people are tweeting at you on the Twitters, people messaging you in chats. Things are going on.
I've made $200 on it.
Dude, nice. Good job.
Yeah,
You're just out there.
it
You
feels pretty
don't
good.
even care. You just flaunt how much you make.
You're
not
buying a
humble.
laptop. Lenovo had a Labor Day sale.
140.
I'll buy something. I'll buy some ocarinas. Just kidding.
Yeah, because how many do you need?
I have two from Grimstake. I have one plastic one, and I have two clay ones. Regular style, alto.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool.
I actually subscribe to that one newsletter, and once a week, what is that, Songbird Ocarina? They send me all those amazing things.
Ocarina.
They're trying to rope you in and buy.
They are. And pretty much it's just a bunch of hilarious pictures of them at cons, like all dressed as Link from Ocarina of Time. And I just laugh
Speaking of cons,
and love it.
I'm on vacation right now.
I start
Until
after
next
tomorrow.
Thursday.
Oh, man, that's awesome. I start after tomorrow. Wednesday's my last day. Vacation.
We got 10 days.
And then I'm picking up beefsteak on Friday, and we're cruising down to Lexington. And it's going to get serious.
I get 4 weeks, I think, a year.
You ever meet beefsteak?
Not in the flesh, but we've rolled dice together in D&D, so that's more than any meeting I've ever needed.
Circle jerk is the next thing up.
Yeah.
You should write a list of topics to talk about, and then tape it.
Oh, dude,
to
he's
your,
a Freemason. I'm just
your
gonna grill
steering
him.
wheel.
I'm just gonna grill him about the secrets of Freemasonry while I'm blasting anime intros at full volume the entire time.
I remember being in grade school and calling whenever I'd call a girl, I'd have to write down write down things that I wanted to talk about.
Dude, that was always the worst. Oh man.
Gulp.
You remember
it'd always be just so forced. And
remember party
think
lines?
It's like this big epic thing.
Remember party lines? How you could call three people at once, and you'd have to have like, so who's got the group chat or whatever, and they'd have to call another person.
No, never tried that.
And then you'd have like secret people. You'd have somebody on the line that you didn't know was on the line, and there'd be just scandals going on all the time because all this secret stuff. Oh man, dude,
Did you
elementary and middle school.
Double tap the receiver and then it like clicked over?
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, it clicked over, and then you were able to dial another line, and then everybody was in a big party line.
Oh yeah, that's like three-way calling. You can get
three-way calling. There you go, three-way. Yeah, three-way calling. That's what it was.
Did you hold down the one and the three button or something?
I don't even remember. I didn't even have it, but I had a friend that had it, so he would always three-way call.
Dude, we had the telephone junction box in our backyard.
Oh man, you hacked that.
So I used to go and hook up the black and yellow wires to somebody else's red and green wires, and I built a switch box. And I forgot one day that we'd talk all night long, right? We'd loop other people in and dial, and like we'd have like huge loops of people all connected.
Awesome.
Together. And
I used to have a bud set and would tap and right in like
dude.
Yeah, that was
totally. Cool. And I forgot one day and left it connected. And after everybody had hung up, and then the next day I was hanging out at the house, and my dad called, and it had this really weird, sick, kind of anemic ring, ring. And I picked up the phone and said hello, and my dad said hello, and somebody else said hello, and I thought, oh shit, and I think our lines are crossed, so they hung up. And everybody hung up. And then my dad called back again. And it did the same thing. And I thought, oh, crap, I forgot to disconnect the thing. And so the phone company came out and cut the wires back like 6 feet so that I didn't have enough wire to reconnect everything. And it was like the wire was buried, and I couldn't solder or make the connections or anything.
Adventures in that guy.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Crazy beautiful.
Crazy beautiful. I'm gonna mute down, Felix. You ready?
Yeah, I'll play a little one for you. This is a song called Dark Globe by Sid Barrett.
Oh man.
So I could play that if you want to mute down, and here I go. Used to play this one back in the day. It's a little quick one. Lyrics are pretty poetic and kind of inscrutable. Is that the word? You don't really know what it's about, but you can make interpretations. And this one goes out to Jacob the Walrus, Martian archaeologist, and to Lamb in the chats. Okay, here we go. Oh, where are you now? Pussy willow who smiled on this leaf when I was alone. You promised a stone from your heart. My head kissed the ground. I was half the way down, treading the sand. Please lift a hand. I'm only a person whose armbands, beads on his hands hang tall. Won't you miss me? Wouldn't you miss me at all? Oh, poppy birds way. Swing twigs, coffee brands all around. You brandished a wand with a feathery tongue. My head kissed the ground. I was half the way down, treading the sand, please. So please lift a hand. I'm only a person with Eskimo chain. I've tattooed my brain all the way. Won't you miss me? Wouldn't you miss me at all?
Beautiful, Felix. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Wonderful.
That's the first time you didn't kill the camera. Yeah, you left the camera on, and it started to lag down a little bit, and I was like, oh god, and I'm like, no, okay, we're gonna make it, but it was fine. And there was only one little spot, but other than that, it was good. That's beautiful.
Nice. I forgot.
No, I loved it because I could actually see you play. I never get to actually watch you play. It was nice.
It was cool to catch that live.
Yeah, that was good.
You like the words?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, everything about that. You're a national treasure, Felix. You need a statue built. Built of good vibes.
Hey, are you going to CryptidCon?
I wish.
I'm not. Sorry.
You're gonna have to. You gotta make it out sometime, or I'm gonna come up to Wisconsin, Felix. We're gonna get dinner with you and your family.
Don't make me come up there.
Don't make me drive up there.
If you can get me a 3D scan of your head, I will make an ocarina shaped like you.
It'd have to be a big ocarina.
or a very high pitched one.
I'd like to show you guys this. I actually made a little hanger on my wall for all my ocarinas. Did I say that already?
I don't think you mentioned a hanger.
Oh. I did a really dark, like espresso bean stain on it. And I was just sick of having these ocarinas on my top shelf. So I wanted to hang them on the wall. So I did that.
Good job.
Cool.
Yeah. Very nice.
Felt good.
Very nice. We lost James Cruz. He's been gone for a little bit. He's probably fighting kids right now. Final level of the dungeon.
Man, can I tell you a Matrix moment I had?
You had a Matrix moment?
Yeah, I was at Dairy Queen, and we're sitting there waiting.
Shout out to Dairy Queen. I don't know if anybody on the coasts might know about Dairy Queen, but it's a Midwest treat. You know, they have amazing soft serve. Amazing soft serve. Dairy Queen's where it's at.
Hot dogs.
Oh yeah, you get some dogs,
No,
chicken strip
it's ice
baskets.
milk. It's not ice cream.
Wait, what are you saying, Jer?
It's not ice cream, technically. It's ice milk.
Well, it's soft serve. That's what they call it. They just call it soft serve.
Ice milk.
What did you call it? A Midwest treat? Isn't that what they actually call it?
It might be, dude. I don't know if Dairy
Tasty
Queens
fruit.
are on the coasts.
They are.
They are.
Dairy Queen's everywhere. Tasty Freeze is not, though.
Oh,
yeah, it's a national franchise.
Is it?
So I was in the drive-through and waiting for my strawberry shake. My wife got one of those crackle ice creams, and I'm looking at all these cars in the parking lot, all angled, and I looking at their license plates, and I go, something's weird about these license plates. Each of them has the letter A. Letter A like right in the beginning, and then it has like a 4-digit number afterwards. So it's like three letters, all starting with A and then a 4-digit.
Those are government plates.
Well, no, here's the thing. I was freaking out. I'm like, I bet the car behind me is going to have it too. And it was one of these things. It just seemed like it was all just make believe. I come to realize that these are just like the newer license plates that they got, and they all start with A. It's just like a new batch that they rolled out. So a lot of the people have this license plate, but the older license plate here have the numbers first. They have like 3 numbers, then 3 letters. So it was weird to see all these letter A. But then I figured it out. I'm like, and then I started seeing them around a lot more after that. That was my Matrix moment.
It's an interesting Matrix moment. I guess there's Dairy Queens all over the place now that I'm on the map.
How many?
There's like 3 right by me.
Yeah.
Two.
We got 2 nearby.
There's thousands.
Yeah, but those are all like the newer ones. If you go to like the Midwest, that's where you have the ones that are like 40 years old and like don't even have the same menu as normal Dairy Queens.
Yeah. Well, every Dairy Queen around here has their own custom menu. Like every single one. There's like the basics, and then they have like at least 7 or 8 different custom items at their own shop, and they're only like 20 miles or 15 miles from each other.
They're in other countries. It says they reportedly.
Oh, dude, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. There's
6,400 stores.
You get Dairy Queens anywhere. Yeah. What is all this shit? Let's see if I got any new hate mails during the show. That's been known to happen. Nope, nothing. Man.
You talking dinos then?
Yeah, dude, let's get into dinosaurs. We teased this 2 weeks ago. Then last week, I don't even think we mentioned that we weren't going to talk about it. We just went to the show. And then, so dinosaurs.
Real? Fake?
I personally think that they were a thing. It was something. I don't know if they were giant, like, lizard huge creatures. They're the bones of something. I don't know, maybe big birds. I don't know. But what I do know is that I was strongly indoctrinated at a young age to believe that these are real things, which always makes me suspicious, because it was like, but also like I had The Land Before Time, and then it was like when I was like 9 years old or maybe 8 years old, it was like Jurassic Park coming at me hard. For real? You're just gonna jump up here and scream at me? Since the Jurassic Park's coming in hard, and then
My cats do that all day long.
Dude, she just jumped up and screamed right in my ear. So yeah, it's like, and then I remember being in like 3rd grade and there being dinosaur flashcards and like learning them and being like obsessed with dinosaurs and loving dinosaurs. But why? Why did they force it down my throat? Is it to push an evolution agenda? What is it? Are they trying to stomp out Christianity? What's going on here, people? Give me some answers.
It's more of, I just sit there and I have a bunch of different things to ask. Like, why would they make that up?
Why would they make it up?
Create,
Exactly.
like, a bunch of bones and bury them and go, look, over here, we found one.
That's why I get the feeling that all of these conspiracies about them not being real is some very, very hard, like, fundamentalist religious propaganda being pushed, saying no, for the whole like 6,000-year-old Earth theory and Or, you know, Jesus and dinosaurs, they were like boys and hung out. Like, I don't know.
I kind of put the dinosaurs are fake on the same shelf as the Earth is flat.
Okay, I'm with you
Because
there.
it's like,
But Flavortown,
why do we even debate about this?
oh, it's to muddy the waters. But honestly, it's all nonsense. I mean, we can't just talk about like Franklin scandal and Epstein Island all day long. I mean, we'd turn into poisonous, toxic creatures that just saw the world as evil. So you gotta have.
And if we distrust a lot of our history, then how can we trust dinosaurs?
Right.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel that is.
How many here have actually gone dinosaur bone hunting?
I never have, but there was never dinosaurs, but there was like a mammoth that was dug up like 15 miles from me in a field once, mammoth bones. So that was a thing, but it's still cool. It's a huge creature that was once on these lands.
Allegedly.
Oh, well, I mean, or maybe aliens dropped the bones off or something.
I know they found some. They've never found like a 100% complete skeleton altogether. They've assembled parts to complete, I think, up to 90%. And they didn't have a skull until just recently. There's never been a skull, just impressions of or bits of. So they're all been artist renditions. That's my big problem with that. Plus, the whole dating method is unreliable. Where did that guy go?
Oh,
So you think
he always bails?
So you think that they just find a bunch of these parts and then they fuse them together and they go, look, we made a shape out of something.
Yeah, and then they build a theory around it, and a model and a theory, and they place it in an age, and then they can go nuts from there because no one has to validate the prior stuff that they're building upon.
And what's interesting is in the past like 5 or 6 years, they all of a sudden have feathers. Beefsteak just brought that up. I remember going to one of the zoos. I think it was Brookfield Zoo. There was a whole dinosaur exhibit, and they all had feathers.
Yeah.
Like they put feathers on the dinosaurs, and it's like they're just going to change this.
They just can't explain where birds came from, so of course that's where they came from.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs. I mean, it's like archaeology. The same thing goes for like with Egypt, right? If you research all the archaeological data from about Egypt and what everything's based on today, you'll find like notebooks by 2 dudes or 3 dudes that you've never heard of, you know, with unverified data that just this is my story, and that's basically the story of them excavating the site written down, and that's what everything's built on from there. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know. What kind of evidence you got, Flavortown?
Well, I don't know if I have evidence, more so that I have just
speculation.
More, like,
give me all the speculation.
Not even speculation, just like asking questions about like what do we really know? Like you said, like we've been hit over the head with dinosaurs since we were kids, like in a way that, you know, is pretty pretty intense, right? Like same thing. Like Jurassic Park was one of my favorite movies as a kid. Like I remember in like, I don't know, maybe 3rd grade, we had to do like a dinosaur play for school.
Dude, I mean, the dinosaur indoctrination was hard for us.
Yeah, and what it was everyone got assigned a different letter of the alphabet, and you got a dinosaur named off of that letter of the alphabet, and you got to do like a research on it. So like I remember drawing like a picture of it and like writing a little bit about it, and we had to just talk about it. And I got the letter Y.
Oh.
I got I remember this too. This is 3rd grade, and I still remember this very vividly. Yang Chuangosaurus.
Yang
Chuangosaurus.
What is that?
I don't even know. Okay, yeah, hold on. I found it here.
Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
It's just like the most nonsensical dinosaur name I've ever, and it just looks like a generic, like I don't know what that is. It looks like a generic mashup of like 8 different dinosaurs I've ever seen. Like
they found a pile of bones.
Named Yang Chuan, who discovered probably what was like a piece of a shoulder blade or whatever he said it was, and was like, "Yep, this is my Yang Chuanosaurus now." And then what they do is they contract these dinosaur skeleton gigs out to companies. There's a lot of them in China, apparently, that manufacture these dinosaur bones for exhibits, because I'm sure, I would think that most people would know this, I would hope, is that none of the things you see in museums and exhibits are real.
Don't you dare say that.
Yeah. I don't mean to burst your bubble here, but
Bubbles
you've
burst.
never seen a real dinosaur fossil chained to the ceiling of a museum and given a pose and everything like that. You've probably never even touched a real dinosaur fossil before, or even seen one behind glass.
They're all artist renditions in plaster.
100% of them are replications created by companies like in China specifically. Apparently they're really good at it. Apparently you can do some of it with chicken bones. It's really easy to do.
Dude, what about Sue in the Field Museum? I mean,
same thing.
That T-Rex, like
Yang Chuangosaurus was 1.8 meters tall, and I bet you, like I said, I'm sure if you go right into this, they're not even going to tell you what it was that they found that made it seem like they had a new dinosaur. So back to some facts.
The part they found didn't fit into this, so they had to make another one.
Yeah, there you go. So does anybody know where the term dinosaur came from? Or when?
No.
It's Greek. 20s, I think.
Okay. It was 1842 was the first classification of Dinosauria, and the person who did that was Sir Richard Owen of the Royal Society, superintendent of the British Museum Natural History. However, the first dinosaur bone or evidence of what they say is dinosaurs was not found until 1854. So the theory of dinosaurs actually came before any evidence of dinosaurs was found. And the proof that was found by Ferdinand van de Veer Heyden in 1854. And it was basically a few teeth that he sent another paleontologist who several years later said that it was from a creature called Trachodon, which apparently means rough tooth. So that is the birth of dinosaurs. Literally, somebody was like, hey, dinosaurs could be a thing. And then a decade later, somebody was like, hey, I found some teeth. These could be dinosaurs. And somebody a few years later was like, yep. And that's how dinosaurs were born.
Wow. Yeah, dude, wow. Yeah, my childhood dreams are getting crushed right now. Now that I found out that Sue's a complete cast. But Sue is one of the most found, but they didn't even find all her bones. There's she's 250 of 380 bones are found. So like 60.
Have you seen pictures of their bones, or you just seen the cast?
Never seen it. I've just seen the cast when I went to the Field Museum. There's never been. Yep. So but we don't know.
We don't know. If you do I'm sure if you do a Google Books like an Mgram search, so like what that does is it just kind of lets you search all the scanned Google Books and kind of sort by key term. So if you do that, you can find that the term dinosaur in literature didn't really exist. Basically right up until about 1900. It had a first spike kind of in like 1920. So I mean the 20s was kind of the time that people were talking about dinosaurs for the first time in literature. So I mean obviously it's a very new thing to talk about, and of course you have all the other evolutionary stuff in the mix around that period of time. But yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of doubt in my mind, especially knowing that I've never actually seen any proof of these things, and all I have is, just movies, TV, action figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's all we have. But, dude, I don't know. I mean,
what if they're giving us a narrative for what these things are, and then like Jurassic Park is going to be a real thing, and they just make these things?
I mean, really.
To like a CRISPR thing?
It's possible.
Something like that.
Well, there was that guy I saw a TED Talk like 5 or 6 years ago about how he's deconstructing, like taking a certain gene out of chickens that is able to like bring their dinosaur gene back. Because apparently, like this part when they're in the egg, there's a certain gene that kicks in to make them like lose their tail and lose their teeth and fangs or something. Because normally these chickens have like they come out with if this thing didn't happen when they're actually in their gestation period, they would have teeth and like a long tail and shit and be crazy. So they're trying to like fuck with the genetics. It's just crazy.
There is also they've never actually found any proof that dinosaur fossils have been found with feathers, but there have been several hoaxes that tried to make people think that dinosaurs had feathers.
I went to a whole exhibit at the zoo and it showed dinosaurs with feathers. So I don't know. You can't convince me otherwise on this.
There had been some like really strange speculation about it, but until Jurassic Park the book came out, no one had really approached it seriously. And because of Crichton's scientific cred, street cred, people started taking it seriously. And that's when I really remember this started to take off.
When was the book? Was it the 80s?
It wasn't too long before the movie, like 10 years.
10 years. Yeah, if you do an engram search for Tyrannosaurus Rex, you don't really get a reasonable spike until about 1980, and then it shoots up in the 90s with Jurassic Park. But yeah, probably right around the same time the Crichton book came out.
Yeah, and then he died.
Wow.
The Land Before Time, guys. Come on, Sharp.
Land Before Time.
Ducky.
Yeah.
What was that sitcom with the dinosaurs?
There's no
Dinosaurs. It was just called Dinosaurs, and it was
It's
awesome.
called Dinosaurs.
Yeah, it was great. Not the mama.
Not the mama.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix or Hulu.
It is. It is on Hulu. Wait, who just said that? Did somebody just say that?
John, 2019.
Wait. Why was Felix saying someone was roaming around behind me?
Oh, because he was messing with everybody. Because it was just a classic Felix bit. That's what that was.
Who's that guy walking around behind?
Hey, CryptidCon 2019. I heard we're going to CryptidCon in a couple days.
CryptidCon 2019.
It's
I just
happening.
made a meme about it too. Scroll back a few.
It's happening.
You should hit CryptidCon with Dinosaurs Aren't Real.
Oh, dude.
Oh, dude, I don't know.
Ask me why. Yeah, have one of those.
Change my mind.
Yeah. A Steven Crowder booth.
We should do it. Birds aren't real. Change my mind.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a huge. Oh man. Leonidas just
fucking interviewed by the local news.
Yeah.
Birds aren't real.
It's all just been a marketing scheme from the very beginning, and they're just going to create them. It's like they make money off the big bones that they find that could be a part of whatever. Like, we have no idea, right? And then they fuse them together. Then they have like a bunch of museums, and then they start making books and movies about it. And then kids got the T-shirts with the T-Rex on it, like everywhere you go. Like, and then they just make them, and then they have a zoo. And that's just like follow the money, I guess.
You could look at Jurassic Park and the whole marketing franchise, everything that's grown out of that as a giant spell to make it come true.
Yep. Here's another question. Does dinosaurs being real make it more, or being fake make it more difficult to justify the concept of macroevolution?
Macroevolution?
I don't think so.
It was coming out right around the same time as everyone was discussing Darwin and the legitimacy of evolution, obviously taking all of the evangelical 6,000-year-old Earth thing out of it entirely. I think those things are two separate. You can criticize macroevolution without necessarily taking an evangelical stance on it.
I was watching a video earlier on.
I think the dinosaurs definitely contributed to it, to the evolutionary
dinosaurs to birds.
Solidification of the evolutionary theory. Dinosaurs definitely helped.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dinosaurs to birds. That's their big claim. And there's been a lot of I don't know. I can't say a lot of, but there have been ornithologists and people who study that field that never would claim that dinosaurs are based off of birds. I mean, they're just too dissimilar.
Right. But the reason the reason the theories move forward is because they share some bone structure. I forget where exactly. Something in the pubic bone, maybe, or the throat. But they have a certain bone that like only reptiles have.
Sure, but that doesn't necessarily prove dinosaurs.
I know. I'm just saying that's how they made the leap.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they shrunk down a lot.
Yeah, they adjust to the atmosphere.
Yeah.
We don't know what the atmospheric and gravitational conditions were at that time.
True.
Yeah, I always heard that. Well, if you're hip to that electric universe stuff, when our planet was more lined out by where Saturn is, gravity was totally different. That's why we were able to have such mammoth fucking creatures on it.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, the Earth started moving away from there, obviously, since that's what it says we're at now. But
dude, who knows? Maybe dinosaurs were even from whatever crashed into Earth. It could be remnants from another planet that have just mashed into our planet.
Flat.
We don't know.
It doesn't matter if they existed or didn't exist. The fact that people believe they do and it's ingrained in the consciousness of everybody.
Exactly. That makes it real.
That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even if they didn't exist, if we could go back in time, people would expect them.
That's because human beings are the gods. We are the creators. We create this reality. And the demons wanna manipulate us with the bad fucking juju.
Well, they do manipulate us.
And they do. And they point our energy. Got to keep those good vibes. Love and light, good vibes. That's what it's all about.
But there's demons who feed off of that too.
I know, right? Right.
It doesn't matter.
No matter what, somebody's got a straw in me and they're just sucking all my luge out or whatever.
Oh, that's your masturbating.
But we don't know.
Succubus.
The succubi, yeah, everywhere, man. It's just nonsense.
It's like 4 of them around you.
It feels like
a circle
my life
standing around.
just surrounded by succubi.
Me or him, I would just.
You should think about.
I guess my conclusion is I don't know if dinosaurs are like 100% fake, but they're definitely not necessarily what people tell us and what you see in museums.
And I mean,
like space.
And that's the perfect response. That's the response that I'm totally content with, because anybody who ever comes at me and says, I know what this is the answer, you're an idiot. Really? I mean, it's like
A lot of opinions on the dinosaurs are fake. The cat has.
Yeah, I know, right? She gets fired up when we talk fake dinosaurs. But
because cats come from dinosaurs.
Yeah, dude, cats come from somewhere. I don't know where. But in some sort of interdimensional, they can see through the veil.
The only feline who doesn't have round iris or pupils, right?
Really?
House cat. Yeah.
I don't know, man. They see stuff though.
You ever see tiger eyes, man? They've got round pupils, and lions have all the big cats have round pupils.
Well, this is Google worthy.
I think they're like a lizard mammal half breed. House cats. That's how they get the slanty eyes.
They might be reptilian.
You never know.
Oh yeah, you're right. Huh, interesting.
I used to have this theory that dinosaurs evolved to be more of like a
reptoid.
Yeah.
It's because apparently
and then they left the planet and then
or went underground.
Or
I like the idea is that there was like a lizard race that lived alongside the dinosaurs, and they just used the dinosaurs as like Flintstones level like interact. Like they just liked them. They just thought it was fun to just like it was like a genetic,
like the Slee stack.
Yeah,
jumping around everywhere because of the gravity.
Man.
There's a really good TED Talk. I just posted it. It's definitely worth checking out sometime, where this Jack Horner guy goes into how it's not only, he doesn't necessarily say dinosaurs are fake, but he says that so many scientists are wanting to get their name out there that they're willing to put their name on what they call different species of dinosaurs, when the reality is that it could be argued that those are just different ages of the same dinosaur.
Right. Oh yeah, they don't even know anything about him. It could be a juvenile, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So like there's so much speculation in there, and you know, there was one, let me see if I can find it again. There was one guy, it was like two guys, they had a rivalry like back when dinosaurs first came out. Let's see. I'll have to find it in a second here, but basically they discovered like over 500 dinosaur species between the two of them, just like a kind of like a feud, like a rivalry, like who's gonna like discover the most dinosaurs, and they just went balls deep and discovered 500 right off the bat. And you know, it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
No, not at all. It's just nonsense. It's people trying to get fame, and the more I'm hearing this, the more I'm getting disgusted about dinosaur lore. God.
I think that they were a real thing. I just think that lots of them were basically, they found like a bunch of different parts of them and then just fuse them together, and they go, look, we put all these parts together and it creates this thing. And then it kind of became like that. It was like a battle between the guy that found the most bones to create something that made a form.
Yeah.
And then throughout time, like if you like follow the money of it, like dinosaurs are a hip thing. If you can make a business, like a TV show or write a book or anything like that or related to it, that's going to make you a lot of money.
Right. That's like why I love the stories of like the explorers in the 1800s that like go into the jungle and they like encounter these huge like lizards or like huge like dinosaur beasts in the jungle. It's like those are great stories, but yeah, man, it's like they're great, but it's like it's almost like they're all just. There was a lot of bullshit in the news like a long time ago. Like the tabloids were everything. So it's like you could reference those, but everybody's it's old timey clickbait. That's all it is.
Yeah. Every couple of years I see a story that somebody found a dinosaur, like a real one, like walking around. But there's no picture or anything. But every like couple of years, you know, who knows if it's true, but if they were a real thing, they're probably underground for sure. They don't really come up much. And if anybody was to find one, like we wouldn't know about it. I highly doubt that we would know about it, because anything that like the quote unquote they figures out first, they're gonna fabricate it into whatever story that they want, or not even make a story about it.
Yeah, they will. I mean, it's all just people wanting to manipulate shit.
There's a book called The Dinosaur Project, and so this is from 1870 to 1880. There's a period in North America where some of the most underhanded shenanigans in the history of science were conducted. What is known as the Great Dinosaur Rush, Edward Drinkard Cope of the Academy of Natural Sciences and Othniel March of the Peabody Museum of Natural History began a lifelong rivalry and passion for dinosaur hunting. Started off as friends, became enemies, includes things like double-crossing, bribery, theft, spying, destroying other dinosaur bones for each other. So Marsh is said to have discovered over 500 different species, including 80 dinosaurs. So it's 500 total species, 80 dinosaurs. Cope discovered 56 dinosaurs. Out of 136 dinosaur species supposedly discovered by the two of them, to date, only 32 are considered valid. The rest are basically falsifications and fabrications, and none of them found complete skeletons. So they were all reconstructions. So yeah, that's 136 they had back then that, you know, they said were real and turned out not to be, and you know, who knows about the stuff that they did validate.
Yeah. It's just madness.
It was the old battle of my dinosaur bone's bigger than yours. No, it's not. I'm going to find a bigger one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
It's a pissing contest.
Funny how all this relates, and there's an article I'm reading right now. It's posted like 5 days ago. It says dinosaurs never existed. Yeah, this is from Brandwatch, whatever. I think they do a lot of marketing analysis, but they also do some writing here. And then what they did is they, thanks. Yeah. So the first thought of dinosaurs appeared 243 million years ago. They remain as prominent as ever today. Thanks to museums, books, pop culture, dinosaurs remain larger than life. Like you're just saying how these, whatever, like after the 80s, it just got boomed up with all the Jurassic Park movies. And it relates it right into this. Like, PETA got on board with it, with the whole Jurassic World movie. Says that they sent out a tweet saying it's proof that CGI is amazing and you don't need to use real animals to make great movie. But so there's just real life or just fantasy. We're looking at the data since 2012. The dinosaurs aren't real discussion truly took off in 2015. This led to the dramatic increase in the conversation.
It happened the same time as Flat Earth. That's when Flat Earth, that's
right.
when Mandela Effect.
Yeah.
Mandela Effect, Flat Earth, and freaking dinosaurs aren't real. Nukes aren't real. Satellites aren't real. All these came out at the same time. They all just blended together with the same thing. Because there's this giant questioning of our modern, like, everybody at one point was like, is this real? Is anything that we've learned, is any of this real?
Yeah.
Like, that's basically what happened. So you have every single conspiracy under the sun come out. And whether it's a disinfo or not from actual shit going on, like, who knows? But you know what? Good for people just questioning things.
Yeah, I think the important thing is that, you take all this stuff for granted again in the movies and TV and whatnot, and very few people actually do the research on their own. And I mean, that's kind of the argument with Flat Earth too, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not going out there and measuring how round the Earth is or how spherical the Earth is yourself.
I did.
Yeah, of course. And obviously since then there have been people that have done it themselves, and like whatever results you have, like they are what they are. But the important thing is like, the greater messaging of like the only way you're gonna know how our reality works is for you to try to verify it yourself. Like science should be something that's not only verified but should be repeatable. For the most part.
And it's something we shouldn't just take for granted. Like, you should experiment yourself and figure things out. It's crazy. Because then you end up with climate change models that are completely wrong.
Yeah, this company did they call it a social data gathered from 2012 to 2019. It looks like it's about 215,000 people or whatever their demographic was. But so why don't conspiracy theorists think dinosaurs are real? Now that we've known there is a significant number of people who believe dinosaurs never existed, what motivates their thinking? How do they jump to such conclusions? We delved into the top discussion topics related to the conversation. Yeah, about dinosaurs not existing. So the dinosaur doubters, the top topics is so there's 1, 2, 5. There's 5 categories. It's Christianity and Bible, dragons, myth, asteroid, or volcano. So coming in last is the volcano at 33,000. The asteroid at 36,000. The myth at 47,000. Dragons at 154,000. And then taking the cake is the Christianity Bible, 215. So a good bulk of the conversation is religiously motivated. Many people in Christianity as a reason they don't think dinosaurs existed, as well as for doubting evolution. Yes. Meanwhile, others think that dinosaurs are mythical creatures. People frequently draw comparisons between the two. Meet the dinosaur doubters. Yeah, so now that we've learned about who the doubters rally around, it's time to find out who they are. So the demographics we found in conversation, male genderized categories, authors was roughly 68% men, 32% women. We found that most likely age of dinosaur doubter is 35 years old plus. And looking at their affinities, those discussing this conspiracy theory also discuss atheism. This doesn't necessarily indicate support Evolution also doesn't necessarily indicate support. And science fiction, Christianity, again, a main topic. So they have it like this bubble graph, like all these different, I'd say, yeah, like a negative down the middle. They had different groups of people. Like, so the crowd is like less interest. Yeah. Like they have them in, it's funny. There's some of the sections that light up here. There's like way far left is like Star Trek, atheism, science fiction, progressive politics. Those are like the hardcore believers. And then there's also the whole to the right is soccer and shoes and Disney and beauty fashion. It's kind of weird.
So let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
Do they spend any time at all actually giving anyone any information on the origin of dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because wouldn't that be the actual valuable piece of journalism to offer rather than like who these people are? It's
Yeah, well,
crazy.
I think it's more of a social. Yeah, so so are there so many? There are so many conspiracy theories, and some that are intriguing and prompt questions. Others are just bonkers. We'll let you make your own mind. Yeah, yeah. So they gathered all this via like social media. So it just kind of shows how it's all being used and played. And I don't know. I thought it was interesting, but
my whole theory on back to what I was saying whenever we first started to talk about this was like, why lie?
Yeah.
And make it up. It's because I think that the quote unquote they knew that the age of the internet was going to be coming soon, So what they did is they implanted a bunch of different things like the dinosaurs, flat earth, nukes are fake, yada, 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 to put a bunch of different people inside of a different box of belief. So we would fight amongst ourselves instead of focusing on what the true bad guy is here and what is really controlling the reality that we're in.
It's the reptilian agenda.
And it's like hiding us from who we really are and figuring out what we are and where we came from.
But we're doing it to ourselves.
Yes. But at the same time, I sit here sometimes and think to myself, like, is it really our fault, or were these things implanted onto us to get to the end of my whole rant when artificial intelligence can link with the human mind? It's going to have a database on what the human race or as an individual, what's best for them, or like they say like it's going to be regulating your body more than your body does.
Yeah, the
like
AI
it's
will
going to
take
be
over.
But who's to say that hasn't happened already?
It's true.
Exactly.
Yeah, really.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying is once it gets inside of the body, like a physical piece, now it's becoming to the point where we have it next to us 24 hours a day.
Oh yeah, we have it on us at all times. Like it's there.
Yeah.
The mark is
that's
with
going
us.
to be real. That's going to be opt-in to get that implant or get however modified. I mean, I don't see a lot of people doing that.
What I'm trying to say is they're getting it to a point to where they figure out what's the best way for human beings to function as one world, have one certain type of belief on where we come from and what we do, because now it's just so like muddied with like we don't really know. Like we have all these ideas and we go with whatever emotionally feels right at the time. If we hear something that someone says, or we have a certain thought and it feels like truth. So when artificial intelligence gets linked into us in a physical way with our thought forms, more than just, hey, I'm going to pick up my phone and check to see what's going on Twitter. It's literally going to be linked into our minds that we can like read what's on Twitter by thinking it.
Oh,
So when
everything's
that
gonna be
happens, it's
Neuralinked.
all going to be centered towards one type of belief of what reality is and how it works. I know that was a crazy long rant, but that's what I'm trying to end it as. Is
Oh,
like it's all building up
It's
to
either
that.
well, you
one
have like
world.
you have Elon Musk working on like the Neuralink stuff right now and like wanting to get people linked into that. I mean, they could even roll something out to maybe where we're not in some kind of Neuralink thing, but it puts us in some sort of dream state where we think we are. Like, who knows, man? They could be completely fucking with our brains. If any sort of thing rolls out like that, don't take any part in it. Don't go into the
No.
cloud. Don't do it.
It's
What
just
I
in
think
transhumanism, like
Yeah.
it's a baby step.
Mm-hmm.
They get the it's called the BCI, brain computer interface. Once they get the BCI implanted and they've got a bi-directional feed, then they can start working on downloading your consciousness or copying it or whatever.
What if we already have the BCI and we can't get the BCI that they want in?
Oh, that's probably
There's
what's gonna happen.
combating BCIs right now.
No, I think the human body is an analog thing, and it's not going to translate to digital very well.
Yeah, I agree. I think the transhumanism thing is just a lot of marketing and a lot of talk and a lot of ways for people to make money off of like the stuff that comes, what they claim to be in between those two things.
Think about the idea of non-local consciousness and how does that play with? I mean, that destroys transhumanism.
in a way,
Checkmate, atheists.
In a, I mean, really, it's like, what if they're trying to create some sort of like bigger soul trap that keeps a person here for like a longer time within their body, or they can transfer their consciousness onto somebody else and
so
look
it's
however
like-
they want to look.
So
I would
so
think
it's
of it
like-
more. Think of it more as like the analog demons feed off of analog emotions.
Mhm.
Digital demons feed off of digital emotions.
So if they can keep this this conscious reality we have right now, which may be some sort of false reality, if they can keep that going as long as they can keep feeding off us forever. If they can put this into some sort of digital thing, because this consciousness that we have right now, the one that's in this meat space or whatever, that's the one that they can actually leech off of or attain somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I agree with you, Flavortown, that like I don't know if it's really possible for the human mind to link up to a augmented reality like we see in, TV shows and things like that, because that would honestly be like the biggest nightmare to me, that they would have full control of like what you see and like how you see things,
like Ready Player One.
Yeah. Yep. Going to the Oasis, man.
well,
I'm all
that, but
for
like
it.
way darker, because Player One would be badass.
Yeah, think of Ready Player One in China. So you got a social credit system overlay on there, and you've got to make your living in that space.
Here's a crazy one that's linked to it. Advanced brainwaves detected in lab-grown human mini brains.
What? They're growing brains?
Yeah, man. This is off Mysterious Universe from
This is how
September 4th.
This is how Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is going to come about. They're going to put a brain in some kind of huge giant robot, and then it's just going to get
That's
crazy.
how you get Krang.
And that's how you get
Human
Krang.
mini brains, known as those by who don't want to attract negative attentions as cerebral organoids. It's a great name for a band. Cerebral organoids. Yeah, they have been growing in petri dishes by researchers for a number of years under the noble cause of helping people with neurological diseases, and always with the stated understanding of these mini brains were not not capable of actually thinking. Oops. According to the new study just released, the human mini brains can now produce brainwaves that are indiscernible from some newborn humans. Uh-oh. Yikes. Yeah, so biologist Allison Maturi of UC San Diego led the research and co-authored the paper published in the journal Stem Cell and summarized the various scientific publications, blah blah blah. he's just talking about his company. So how far along they have the trajectory have the cerebral organoids in the dish followed? The latest batch generated several types of brainwaves that were detected by electrodes, including gamma waves, alpha waves, and delta waves. Of course, it's one thing to detect waves; it's another to measure how close they are to humans. So they did EEG tests on 39 premature infants born after 24 to 38 weeks of gestation, although the AI thought the brain waves in the human mini brains matched those of the human babies at comparable stages of development. Yikes.
Wait, so they asked an AI?
Yeah, they must have ran
Who's
it.
gonna trust the robot to tell us what's real and what's not real? Come on now.
Yeah. The AI. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, these activities were spontaneous and self-generated, just like parental fetuses.
But that still doesn't explain consciousness. Like consciousness isn't in the brain, so like you can make a brain, but like then what? Can't put like how are you going to put a consciousness in it?
That's exactly right here. Yeah. So it's a good thing that you're being exposed to external stimulation that they can learn from, right? You're so naive. Last month, the mini brains were sent to the International Space Station to test how they handle microgravity. They are being they are being ready to be sent on long duration in long duration space flights where they develop as they travel. Vittori and his team are getting ready to grow the mini brains larger than current pea size and then supplying them with more nutrients and oxygen surrounding them with human blood vessels. At some point, Vittori believes that we will face the inevitable development consciousness. So he seems so certain that he's hosting a conference in October of biologists and philosophers to discuss how to prove or disprove the presence of consciousness in a human mini brain.
Can we go back to what were they talking about? Like blood sacs that they're bringing with them?
They're putting the brains, so they're gonna grow it to the size of a pea, supplied by them with more nutrients and oxygen surrounding them with human blood vessels.
Oh, blood vessels. Okay.
Yeah. And then
they're just gonna put dead people up there with them and just pop those brains in there. What's gonna happen?
Creating Frankenstein.
Let's see. As a scientist, I want to get closer and closer to the human brain. I want to do that because I see the good in it.
Because I want to fuck it.
See the good in it.
I can see my goo in it.
Yeah. Oh. I can help people with neurological conditions by giving them better treatments and a better quality of life. But it's up to us to decide what their limit is. How close is he? Well, will the meeting draw the line at a place he's already passed? Will other countries recognize and respect these limits? And we can't even agree on when this when this occurs in actual human babies. Shouldn't we figure it out first, or are we too late? Consider this food for your brain. Yeah, that's a pretty good article. That's pretty crazy, dude. Yeah, consciousness. Yikes.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough hurdle. They're probably going to ignore the hell out of that one.
Yeah.
What if they put like an artificial intelligence?
I don't think humans can make. I honestly don't think humans can make artificial intelligence.
No way, man.
I just don't think it's possible.
I don't think the singularity is a real thing.
No.
Yeah, like
that was
I doubt it.
I just wonder about that a lot.
It'll still just be a program.
I know, but what if like we make it so because enough people believe in it that have enough money to do enough.
Oh, we manifest the singularity by just everybody believing it?
No, I'm saying, like the people do it that like are like planning on doing it and talk about doing it and are quote unquote whatever, like they're working on the technology to do it, and then we're like, oh, it's coming, and then we all believe it's coming, and it happens.
Here's the problem: is that there's not enough computing power to run something like a conscious person.
I don't think so. Yeah.
And I don't think there'll ever be enough computing power.
There was this. I saw this video clip of Elon Musk and who's the dude that the Chinese guy, the super genius Chinese guy. He's like the billionaire. I don't remember his name, but they were having some kind of debate about AI, and Elon Musk is going on about how computers like, oh, AI is better than humans in every way, like they're amazing. And all the Chinese guy said back was like, well, I've never seen AI create a human before. He's like, so fuck you. Like, which is true. Yeah. It's like, dude, computers, like we created them.
I definitely don't want that to like fucking happen. Like, really, my whole general like hope is that it's somewhat of like a spiritual warfare type thing. Like, there's like another level to all of the shit that's going on in the world that, you know, we like tap into sometimes. I mean, I've been meditating.
Puppets of higher dimensional entities.
Puppets of higher dimensional entities, pretty much.
True.
Of course. Well,
or maybe we're the puppet masters that have just been tricked into thinking we're the puppets.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like at this point, the AI thing, the only way that they may think that they can get it to work is by doing all the woo-woo and the rituals and the weird shit. I mean, remember all that stuff with the CERN? Like, remember when they caught that like weird ritual going on in front of the CERN thing? Remember that?
Yeah,
From,
I saw that video
4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I saw that. Man.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, they said it was like a reenactment.
Yeah, they said it was all a troll. Who knows, man? It's crazy. I think we're all just gods that have been tricked into being fucking slaves in love with our slavery. It's pretty much that's our existence. Just tricksters have completely taken over, and we don't know who we are or where we came from or anything. We've just been
cycles
completely
of
lied
humans.
to. But you know what? Who knows?
Here's the thing. Think anyone knows? Do you think that there are people?
No, I really do not. I think I think that the people that did know have long been dead. They've been killed off. Those bloodlines have died, and we're just a bunch of crazy people that think we know what's going on. So people will manifest conspiracies about, you know, Illuminati and these huge powers ruling the world when there's really nothing. Nobody knows what's going on.
If we are a co-creative collective, that's we create our reality as we expect it to unfold, then it could be that there's an agenda at some level that's creating this path, you know. So it's not unlikely.
Right. Well, it almost feels like
definitely seems like a pretty refined like culture. Like by the time all of us were born, like the expected way of living your life was put in motion, you know, at least 100 years before all of us were born, like full head of steam by the time
1947 everything changed. That's when it all happened.
That's when the alien.
It's when reality shifted, the alien reality came, everything happened, the new world order happened. Just,
you know, for all we know,
Crowley died.
This non-human intelligence, whatever it is, that's if it's there and it's guiding our narrative, and it could be just for the purpose of creating like androids that it can inhabit here in this plane.
It's possible.
It could be something that simple, you know.
Oh yeah.
Just the whole Hattie Bob thing with the
like so some sort of intelligence is manipulating us to be able to create something that they can come to here. Yes. Man, I like it.
Yeah,
they're making stuff that they can come to later.
That could be, you know,
Jerry, you're definitely onto something. Yeah.
You know, what if this end vessel, as it were, is the gray alien, and those are the things that overtake us, and they come back from the future,
and that's why they're trying to make everybody trans, so we're some kind of just non-binary, just crazy anthropomorph. We're like just some wild fucking race, no gender. We're just hairless, gray creatures. I mean, I'll go there.
I think the transgender thing is tied into the transhumanism, but I don't really know.
I think that in the end, good is going to prevail for us.
That's
in a
the
way.
spirit. Good
Corey
vibes.
good. Corey
That's
good's
really
gonna
what I
prevail.
no. I mean,
don't you
that's
dare
just
ever
honestly
say
where
Everyone
I
gets a blue bean,
Yeah.
like
blue spear.
lean
yeah.
onto in like
Just-
some way. Like we're gonna make it out. You know what I mean?
That's why we created Cruising with Steak, to make help groups like this and, hangout groups. You see that?
Yeah.
It's just you come talk about weird shit.
But that the way you said that, we're going to make it out. It's like, how many people have I heard in the last 5 years who've said,
Yeah,
this
no,
is
we're
the
not.
way.
We aren't making it out. In my opinion,
We already made it out.
No,
I think we're shutting it down.
we're here. We're here. We just have to make the best of it, and you have to come to terms with things like death. Come to terms with things like tragedy. Like this
Yeah.
world. This world is not some kind of thing where your life's gonna move smooth. You have to deal with hardships and just enjoy it. Just try to make the best of it. And then, we're all going to die. It happens. Whatever. It's just once you come to terms with that, life's great.
Yeah, it makes life a lot more complicated when you're like, life's great, and then I'm gonna put my brain into a computer and then
Yeah,
live
man.
in some like crazy ass
even try to
android
make
body for the
plans.
next 1,000 years, or whenever I run out of money to keep the android body going,
Yeah,
like
that's just
Repo Man
insane.
style.
That's just insanity. It's pure insanity. Well,
Could you imagine not being able to afford your own body?
It'd be so stupid.
Or kidney.
Well, yeah, I guess that does happen now too with the analog shit.
Oh, so about cat eyes. I'm looking at my cat right now in the eyes. Apparently, the reason lions and other big cats have round pupils is because they need to hunt during the day, diurnal eyes, and I guess the slanted eyes only work well at night, like for
owls
prime
hunt
for
at night.
hunting.
What about owls?
I don't know.
Every other
dude.
fucking animal has round eyes.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. I don't know much about.
I know that's the story, but it's stupid. Why just cats? Why not?
I don't know.
All the other
Jerry,
deer,
I don't know.
Other things that hunt in the savannah.
I
or
don't know,
owls.
Jerry. I don't know. Nature, this world's a mystery machine. Shaggy and Scooby.
I want to go out with some old timey slang terms and phrases.
Oh, Flavortown! I just saw that. We are the elves. Oh
Ooh,
man,
elves. What kind of elves?
dude, you don't even want to
Dark
know.
Night elf.
All I know is that you better not be of noble blood, because you totally betrayed my race. Anyway, let's. What do you got there? What are you saying, James?
You gotta go back to the careful with that guy with the wet sock over there. That means the limp handshake. Yeah. You gotta go with a pine overcoat.
Wait,
coffin.
what part of the show are we doing right now? What's happening?
Oh, I'm doing the end part where a long time ago in the beginning of the show, we mentioned something about old timey things, and I looked it up, and it's been a long time ago, and I'm just bringing it back for one more time. Copper mouse. It's meant to get a black eye, not to be confused with the terrifying cockamouse from How I Met Your Mother, the TV show. Don't sell me a dog. That's a fancy way of saying don't lie to me. Don't sell me a dog. I like it.
I like women with big, giant tits and big asses.
What?
Yeah.
If something or someone was not up to dick, it was not healthy. Oh, geez. A rain napper. That's an umbrella. Your mouth was a sauce box. Context is everything.
Your mouth was a sauce box. I like that one.
Oh man, soppy-eyed, full as a tick, seeing snakes, canned up, zozzled. We enjoyed the occasional zozzling. That's why we keep tequila on the wall of magic. Zozzling. Owled. I don't know what owl.
James, how many more you got of these?
I got tons of stuff. Full of moist.
Let's put a bow on this podcast.
Yeah.
Give me 3 more. Give me 3 more.
3 more. 3 more. Office chump.
Office chump. Okay.
Yeah, off his chump. Yeah, colder than a brass toilet seat in the Yukon.
All right. Okay, I think I can know what that means.
Yeah. It's colder than the hinges of hell.
Okay, that's your last one.
That's it. Yeah.
Everybody, I want to say thanks for tuning in. It's been an amazing night tonight. We got into some deep woo. There's some great talks going on. That's good. Fun times. MellowHorus, thanks for joining us. Flavortown, thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me. Anytime.
Oh, you have to come back all the time now.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's every Tuesday.
You're available.
It's what we do. We have there's regular people. You know, you'll show up for a few weeks and then you'll just disappear. That's what they all do. That's what they all do.
I'm gonna buck the trend. Don't believe the
Flavortown. Yeah,
5.6.
this is what is this? Your second or third? Something like that.
Third one, I think.
Yeah, we're missing Watcher though.
It's one in a row as far as I'm concerned.
Michael Watcher.
True.
He just freaking stole Nish and started a podcast on his own. I see how it is.
Did he?
Yeah, they have a ton of episodes booked and they're about to put a podcast out. Jerry, who you got on Noxmente tomorrow night? Speaking of,
tomorrow we have investigator William Ramsey. Ramsey investigator.
That's a familiar name. I know that
he
name.
did a whole bunch of exposés on the smiley face killer and the dude who was pushing people off of bridges, like young men off of bridges.
I bet he's had some crazy dreams investigating all that crazy shit.
He's a Crowley historian.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's a really awesome guy.
Oh yeah, that'll be a good show.
And next week we have the 9/11 special.
Oh man.
Oh, is that the obelisk?
At the obelisk, yes, on 9/11 at 9:11 p.m.
Gotta get on that
It's
one.
almost the full moon. Or wait, no, you're not doing it on the
It
full
is
moon.
the full
Are you?
moon. Yeah,
it is really.
the 13th. Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's within
That's coming
3
up
days.
already.
We timed the show to be on full moons.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
And after the 2 weeks, we've got Styx Hexenhammer.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show.
If anybody's in the Kentucky region this weekend,
yes,
come to CryptidCon. We're all gonna be there, having fun, good vibes. You know, that's what we do. And for anybody who actually listened or actually subscribed to the podcast at CryptidCon and made it this far into the episode, you are a golden god. Don't you ever forget it. I'm totally impressed.
There's no link at CryptidCon to get here, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. Yes.
Gonna be hitting you on the head with dinosaurs aren't real the whole time.
Oh, I hope so, dude.
I just wish I got a banner change my mind banner. I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's good.
We could get one that the erasable marker on it. We could just put a different thing on there every hour. Change my mind. Yeah.
Bigfoot's a gray.
Yes.
Change my mind.
Yeah, alien. Yeah, Bigfoot's an alien. Change my mind. We'll be there. Can't wait. I'll sign some tits for sure. What? Oh.
So yeah. Like, share, subscribe, cruisersteak.com. Thanks for listening, guys. See you sometime in the future. Next Tuesday.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Started writing down a list of things to do. Number 1 on the list of things to do was to write a list of things to do. Number 2 on the list, a little more nihilist, wrote down the cake is a lie. There is no spoon. Johnny flipped out, they put him in a rubber room. Hide all your money under your mattress. You call your enemy a fascist. Somebody call an ambulance, the sky is falling. Hide all your money under your mattress. You call your enemy a fascist. Somebody call an ambulance, the sky is falling. Started to carve my initials into a 150-foot tree. Forgot who I was, where I was, cut my hand and it began to bleed. Was only looking to leave my mark in the bark in the park, now I'm in agony. I have no name, my legacy is written in the sparks in your brain. Hide all your money under your mattress. You call your enemy a fascist. Somebody call an ambulance, the sky is falling. Hide all your money under your mattress. You call your enemy a fascist. Somebody call an ambulance, the sky is falling. Johnny crumpled up, threw away his list of things to do. Instead he got to jotting down his lifeblood legacy manifesto. Live by principles of peace, mix it with charity. Don't leave the next generation a world of scarcity. Johnny wasn't a commie, he was my fellow man. Johnny wasn't a commie, he was my fellow man. Johnny wasn't a Nazi, he was a firebrand. Johnny wasn't a Nazi, he was a firebrand. Hide all your money under your mattress. You call your enemy a fascist. Somebody call an ambulance, the sky is falling. Hide all your money under your mattress. You call your enemy a fascist. Somebody call an ambulance, the sky is falling. Hide all your money under your mattress. You call your enemy a fascist. Somebody call an ambulance, the sky is falling. Hide all your money under your mattress. You call your enemy a fascist. Somebody call an ambulance, the sky is falling.